The S&P 500 reclaimed its all-time high last week, marking the fastest return ever to a bull market after falling into bear territory. This comes as President Trump and RNC speakers are set to tout the administration's economic growth and the record highs the major indices achieved since he took office. Well, here to talk about all this further is the president and CEO of Financial Issues Stewardship Ministries, Celia, who is also the nationally syndicated radio and host of Financial Issues. Thank you for joining us.
Stephanie, it's great to be with you.
So Americans have been reeling from the effects of a bear market over the last 5 months. What milestone did markets reveal last week that offer hope for the third quarter?
Well, I think we have been seeing a lot of hope for the third quarter over the last couple of months. Of course, you know, the market has gradually been increasing, growing throughout this entire pandemic, which is absolutely amazing. And then last week, we hit that milestone of officially being out of bear territory, which you would already mentioned. So bear territory, of course, is when the markets drop, the indices drop below 20% from their last high. So basically, last week, we got back to that February high or early March high that we were in before we got where we are today and went through this very rough sort of cycle through the pandemic.
And it seems to be that there's some positive sentiment, especially since, according to a Bank of America survey released this last week, 46% of fund managers surveyed believe we are in a bull market, which is up from 40% last month. And there's also positive sentiment regarding coronavirus treatment. How will the recent progress made with coronavirus treatments also inject confidence into these markets going forward?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, Stephanie. And already we saw that even yesterday. The markets were primarily driven yesterday by confidence of with the talk of treatment, not just a vaccine, but treatment. Now, I've been saying for a long time that I believe treatment is the key component for the economy to get on its feet so that you and I and others that are going to work are feeling as though it is safe. I know this sounds silly, but safe to get coronavirus in the sense that I'm a little bit more confident that I can go back to work if I get it, because I don't know where my coworkers have been. At least there's a treatment. And I think that's going to bring in a whole new sense of optimism for the American workers going back. And that's what the markets were reacting to yesterday, as a matter of fact, and will probably continue to react to that optimism. The optimism of the markets in general has been amazing through all of this, and the markets have pretty much ignored a lot of the bad news and the good news, frankly, in the sense that they're very focused on what they know is going to happen under I'll just say after November 4th, assuming that President Trump gets reelected.
And speaking of President Trump, the RNC is happening all week. What specific economic policies should President Trump focus on during his speeches to instill financial confidence and hope in the American people?
Yeah, I think he just has to talk about his record. He's got to talk about minority unemployment all-time low. He's got to talk about the poverty rate in America has gone down every year since he's been in office. Just the opposite for the 8 years prior to that, it went up every year. Poverty rates down, wages are up. Really, technically, from my perspective and my analytics, for the first time in 16 years have we seen consistent wage growth. An abundance of jobs, a workforce that is, in fact, back to work. The last administration, we saw it drop down to a 40-year low. That is back. So many things. And last night, as the RNC kicked off the convention, it was really about hope and optimism moving forward.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.